Someone said something to you today that hit harder than they will ever know. You smiled, maybe nodded, said something like, "Yeah, totally," and moved on. And right now, hours later, you're still sitting with it, still turning it over, still feeling it in a way you couldn't explain even if someone asked. Nobody asked. That's not weakness. That's not repression. Psychologists have a specific name for what you just did, and when you hear it, you're going to realize you've been doing it your entire life. The world has a story about people like you. The story goes, if you felt it, you'd say it. If it mattered, it would show. Silence means nothing is happening inside. That story is completely wrong. Neuroscientists call what you do emotional containment, and it is not the absence of feeling. It is the opposite. It's what happens when a nervous system is so sensitive, so finely tuned to emotional input, that it learned early on to build an interior processing system instead of an exterior one. Think of it like this. Most people have a feeling and it immediately moves outward to their face, their voice, the room. Your nervous system built something different. A second room, private, soundproof, where everything goes first and almost nothing leaves without being understood. You don't feel less than other people, you feel more, you just do it somewhere no one can see. Here's where it comes from. At some point when you were young, maybe very young, you learned that expressing what you felt created a problem. Not always a dramatic problem. Sometimes it was subtle. Parent who got overwhelmed when you cried. Classroom where showing emotion made you a target. A home where things were fine on the surface and everyone worked very hard to keep them that way. You felt the unspoken rule before anyone said it out loud. This is not the place for that. So your nervous system did what nervous systems are extraordinarily good at doing. It adapted. It built a container. Every feeling that came in grief, joy, anger, longing, love went into the container first. And you got very good, very fast at functioning while the container was full. You learned to smile during hard conversations, to be the calm one, to ask how everyone else was doing because asking redirected the attention, and redirected attention felt safer than receiving it. By adulthood, the container was so well built you almost forgot it was a choice. It just felt like your personality. I'm just a private person, that's what you told yourself, and there's truth in it. But it started somewhere. It started because a younger version of you needed protection that no one else was providing, and the only available architect was you. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about understanding that your nervous system made a very smart decision with the information it had at the time. And smart decisions don't always look comfortable from the outside. But here's what that costs, and it deserves to be said plainly. There are people in your life who genuinely do not know you. Not because they haven't tried, but because the container is so efficient, so practiced, that even when you want someone in, the walls don't move easily anymore. You've been in conversations with people you love, feeling something enormous and said nothing. Not because you didn't want to, because the distance between feeling it and saying it out loud has become so wide that by the time you've crossed it, the moment is gone. They've moved on, the window closed, and there's something lonelier than being alone. It's being in a room full of people who think they know you and knowing they don't. Knowing you let them not know you, knowing you're not sure how to fix that anymore. That's real. That's the part no one talks about when they call you deep or mysterious or a good listener. They see the container, they don't see what's inside it. And sometimes, if you're honest, neither do you. The cost and the gift are not separate things, they come from the same place. And understanding that changes everything about what comes next. Here's what emotional containment actually produces in the world. You notice the moment someone's smile doesn't reach their eyes. You feel the shift in a room before anyone has said a word. You are the person someone calls at 2 a.m. not because you have the right answers, but because they know somehow that you will actually hold what they're about to say, that you won't flinch, that you won't make it about you. That's not a small thing. In a world that processes emotion at the speed of a reaction, a reflex, a comment section, you do something rare, you sit with it, you let it be complex. You don't rush to resolve it or perform it or package it for someone else's comfort. The people who made others feel truly seen, truly heard in a way they couldn't explain and never forgot. They were almost never the loudest ones in the room. They were the ones who felt everything quietly, and chose carefully when and how and with whom to let any of it out. That is not a consolation prize for being bad at expressing yourself. That is a specific and genuinely rare capacity. The world has enough people who broadcast. It has very few who can actually receive. You were never too much. You were never too sensitive. You were just running a system most people don't have the wiring for, and nobody ever gave you the manual. The next video is about what happens inside the mind of someone who needs days to recover from a single conversation, and why that's not a flaw in their chemistry. It's already there when you're ready.